Dear students, welcome to our class on climate change, schools of view, basics 1. Atmosphere is defined as a colorless, odorless and tasteless physical mixture of gases enveloping the earth on all sides. On all sides means lithosphere, solid portion, hydrosphere, water portion. Both of the lithosphere and hydrosphere, there is an atmosphere which is a gaseous portion. Now, whether by definition, whether it is defined as a state or condition of the atmosphere at a particular place and at a given instant of time, whereas climate is defined as generalized weather or summation of weather conditions over a given region during comparatively longer period. Now, why I am doing all these things is that when we talk about the climate change, there are at least basically two schools of views. Number one is advocating cognizance. The second one is the ignoring of climate change. Now, weather changes. Summation of weather is only climate. So, it automatically changes. In that process, how these two, advocating and ignoring, are defending their views. To understand that, once again we may have to clearly define the basics. This is the basics only. Advances I will cover. Basics only in that a climate change. Basics. A change in the state of climate that persists for a decade or longer. Climate variability. A variability in the state of climate beyond that of an individual weather element. Isolation into here. Third point I will discuss that one. Combination. Okay. There I will discuss these two. Now, point number 2 is some of the arguments advanced by both schools of view are flawed. Both schools are flawed. However, some others merit consideration. Now, here I would like to stress upon this particular point. Why this dichotomy of views, arises is due to the fact that a change in a given weather element does not occur in isolation. A change in a weather element does not occur in isolation, but is reflected in the changes of other parameters and the effect of combination. The effect of combination of changes on any physical or biotic entity or process is quite different. Combination is quite different. Combination effect is quite different from what would result for a given parametric change. So, individual effect, combination effect. Now, coming to another important point, the present spatial variations of climate on Earth are due to changes of planet. Changes of planet, that's why I defined atmosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere. There, the present spatial variations of climate on Earth are due to change of planet. Of course, coverage of planet. It is because of the coverage of planet with different types of surfaces, each with its own radiative temperature. Coverage of planet with different types of surfaces, each with its own radiative temperature, even under the same input of energy. Different surfaces, same input of energy behaves differently. Okay, that's what. Second, does any large scale change in the type of surface like deforestation will bring about a local climate change. Nobody can deny it. Again, pollution of soil and water. Pollution of soil and water resources otherwise brings about a dwindling down of aquatic fauna and terrestrial flora. For any weather parameter, there are decades of epochs of increase and decrease, which will affect biotic processes in a manner similar to that of climate change. Once again, I will read this statement. For any weather parameter, there are decades of epochs, EPOCHS, decades of epochs of increase or decreases which will affect biotic processes in a manner similar to that of climate change. Last point for today's class or the basic one is that, however, climate change will be a superimposition of okay. In other words, climate change is a superimposition on natural weather vagaries and effects of anthropogenic follies or faults, and will have a significant and visible impact on crops and affect large masses of people. This is the basics. We continue basics 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Thank you very much.